Yes, sir. We're back. Episode 21. This one's a special one. This
Another
one,
live and direct.
already.
This one's a little different from our usual topic-based sort of
This one,
subjects. I think
we're bringing you stuff you didn't know.
it's a
Because
bit
I
of
know
a it's a
people.
bit of a off the beaten path. I guess if somebody has a if somebody is one of them people that likes to go on YouTube and maybe search up random videos and gain a little different knowledge, I think they might find this one interesting.
So today we're talking about a Mauritian artist, a creator of a genre,
Mm.
a leader of a movement, someone
Revolutionary,
mark,
really, for
someone who's left a mark in general music and Mauritian culture from the 90s.
yeah,
Talking about Joseph Reginald Topizet,
just Reggie. Reggie.
aka Kaya.
Yeah, trust. Big dog.
Let, I'm gonna let you
He
take
was
it from here.
yeah, I mean, he's someone that I think a lot of see if you ask any Mauritians about Kaya, they're like, yeah, they know. But he's not really known outside the island, which is quite crazy to me because his influence was heavily, it wasn't just island culture. It was representing, Africa as a continent, the multiculturalness of the island, revolutionary at the time,
Yeah,
colonization,
yeah.
slavery. It was all of that. His message was quite powerful and obviously heavily influenced by Bob Marley. I think the name Kaya must have come from one of Bob's albums somewhere. I think Kaya was either a tune he made or there was something Bob did that I know that was where he took the name from. But he was born in the 60s in a district of Port Louis, which is capital city. Obviously, poor upbringing, as most underprivileged people were at that time. Most of the country was. I mean, my dad was also born in the 60s. Um, I learned about his music through Pops because he was obviously, I'd say, our age around the time Kaya was hitting his peak. We're talking early 90s to late 90s when he was really getting into the music.
So if I can reiterate something that you were saying, so you are correct. I just searched this up. The song is called Kaya from Bob Marley,
Okay,
and
so it was,
the
yeah, okay,
reason
so it was a
the
song.
reason why he's called Kaya is because in Jamaican patois there's a term Kaya which stands for cannabis. So
Right.
that's why
Okay,
you know
I didn't know that. I
he's
didn't know that
referenced
this was a
he's
term used in
yeah he's referenced that, and also Bob's song Kaya is the two reasons why he has chose to adapt the name Kaya.
yeah.
Apologies, carry on.
Yeah, funny you say that because now the whole kind of thing makes a bit more sense because um one of the reasons he was impactful with the people, as I've mentioned before, was the fact that he spoke a lot about sort of what reggae came from in general, right? It was a poor man's music, just like it was in the Caribbean. It was representing the people, the culture, the hardships, poverty. It was talking about uprising. It was talking about injustice, moral injustice, social injustice, which is what he was talking about. And around the time when Mauritius was going through a republic, Mauritius came from being colonized for most of its existence. We'll go into the history later, but because he was so influential, obviously that meant he had a bad rep. He had a bad rep with politics. Politics don't like people that talk about corruption. Politics don't like people that talk about the truth. Politics don't like to
Yeah,
talk about rallying the people for uprising. And we've seen what's happened throughout history. We've seen, we won't talk about, but we've seen throughout history what happens when freedom of speech is made really free. Everybody likes to talk about freedom of speech, but it's only free for as long as you don't
You
oppose
don't
my
piss no one
agenda.
off.
You don't
Yeah.
piss no one off. So it's really not that free. So heavily influenced. I'm gonna read here. So what happened? Yeah. So created a whole genre, really. Sega, which originates from the island. This was brought by the slavery from Africa. Um, it became sort of a unique own sound on the island because it was very flamboyant. It was played on this thing called like it's called a ravan. I don't know, but it's like a drum turned sideways, but it's flat. It's a stretched piece of, I think it's like leather. It's like deer hide, right? And it creates a very unique sound, like a low rumble sound. And Sega is very colorful. There's women dressed in very colorful dresses. Have you seen like those Spanish flamenco dresses? Have you seen how they are?
Yeah.
Very similar sort of style, but so very colorful, all about um talking about island life, talking about growing up. And then his influence with reggae, it became sort of like Sega. It was like Sega mixed with reggae, and it had a unique bop to it. I think anybody that is interested in the history we're talking about, if you have Spotify, go search up Kaya. He's got a few of his songs on there, but his music bibliography is not that big because he came and he went, sort of thing. So I'm not surprised why he didn't have a wider influence, why he sort of stayed quite local to the islands, because as quick as he came, his message was very strong. He sort of left very quickly as well. He didn't really have time to develop into an actual all and out artist, let's say,
Yeah.
because the music was never really about being an artist initially, right? It was about
It was
portraying a
more a
message.
way of
It was
protesting
more it
and
was more a
being more
it was a way
peaceful.
of protesting, exactly. So that leads us on to his later life. So imagine now it's the late 80s, 90s. Cassette is coming out, DVDs coming out. Um, the island's starting to develop a lot more. I mean, my dad back then had a sort of like a Costco, imagine, in the neighborhood, right? So um, it was a hot spot for people to gather around, come and get your CDs, come and get your cassette. My dad would tell me, yeah, we would, get on the bike and go to the city, go to Port Louis or another city called Kyopip, and we would go there and we would go to the DVD store, like we'd
Yeah.
go to the
Cop out
DVD
and bring
store,
it back.
cop out and get the latest Kaya tape and the latest mixtape released, you know what I mean? Go back to the shop, put it in your what were they called? Like the boom boxes and that, slap it in a boombox, and it was a vibe then. So you can only imagine, like in the 90s, you've got a small island that's developing
It's a
more
island
thing.
in its own thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so an artist like that talking about the messages he was talking about, it was really starting to um open
Become
people's
too influential.
open people's eyes a lot more. And obviously he was very liberal in his talk about the use of cannabis and how it shouldn't be criminalized, to decriminalize cannabis, because you also need to understand how, ask yourself the question of how a small little island in the middle of the Indian Ocean gets all of this imported drugs gets into the country.
Yeah,
How
yeah,
does
of
it?
course, of course.
Yeah, it's, look, I don't want it to get all conspiracy and political, but the reason why the minority is more affected by drugs is because it's pumped into that demographic a lot more.
Of course.
Because when you're already in poverty, the only thing you have left to consume is drugs to escape your reality. And his whole movement was about freeing the people. So get the people out of poverty. Show us who's taking the money. Show us where the money is going. Show us where the plantation money is going. Show us where the sugarcane money is going. Show us where the fishing industry money is going. Show us where that's going. Show us why fishermen are broke. Show us why families are not are living off less than £2 a day. Like,
Yeah.
so he had a song called Le Peuple, which means the people. And my dad was telling me when that song come out, it was like when a little fire starts in you, where
Yeah.
it was like people started to sit back a bit, be like, wow, maybe he's onto something here. So he gets arrested in '99. Um, he's performed local shows, by the way. Bear in mind, live, little concerts and whatnot. That my dad would tell me they'd link up with friends, kind of like we would link up when me and you would link up, go see someone, whatever it was. And so he gets arrested in '99. The police take him into custody. Original reason, on record, it was because he was caught with cannabis. He openly admitted to smoking cannabis. What the police really done him for, which is not officially released, because I think only Mauritians really talk about it, or maybe only Mauritians believe this, but there was a conspiracy against him that he was importing a lot of cannabis into the country. Now, this was never proven. There was no source of proof to date back to him to show that this was happening. There was no money found. There was no money seized. In fact, he was a very normal, humble man who traveled around with his guitar. Most of his money came from shows. I think what was really happening was around that time, Mauritius was Mauritius was trying to change its image. I think the image you have in Mauritius now is similar to what you have in the Maldives. You see white sand, come spend money, tourism, come. And it's
Yeah.
one of
Yeah.
the
Yeah. Yeah.
it's one of the big tourism destination in the world for a reason, because it is a gorgeous place. But for what was happening around that time, the image was trying to change. The image now is quite positive, I'd say. I think back then maybe the image wasn't necessarily that. I think it was still being considered as, dare I say, African. You know that connotation? You know that connotation around it. Now, bear in mind, I know Africa. I know Africa is a beautiful continent with modernism and infrastructure, nowhere near the amount I think maybe some people, I'd say
Yeah,
ignorant
can
people.
realize.
I think most people are not stupid enough to not know that. But so arrested in '99, he gets taken into custody. He gets arrested in February. Um, 5 days later, he is announced deceased. So
Unalive.
unalive, just like that. So he gets arrested. Google tells me here, 16th of he died in police custody on the 21st of February 1999. He got arrested on the 18th. So a few days later, he was pronounced unalive. Although an official report stated a fractured skull.
Yeah.
So autopsy autopsy says that when there was an autopsy made after, he said it was clearly a sign of beating, of being brutally beaten while he was in prison. This is a man who's not liked by police, first and foremost, talked very bad about police. Imagine Tupac in the 90s saying, yo, F the,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's
F
exactly what it
police.
was. It was the equivalent of that, right? It was NWA type of stuff. He goes into prison, he gets beaten up, he's talked about police corruption, and so that I say, listen, it's a clear cut case. He gets beaten in prison, he gets pronounced dead, and there was the riots, the crazy riots that happened. This is like a one of the biggest riots that's ever happened in the country. I think one of the biggest riots I think recorded in terms of Indian islands at that time, Indian Ocean islands at that time. And it really highlighted a deep sense of social inequalities. And he sort of died a martyr, didn't he?
Yeah.
He
I
died a
even
martyr.
where I've got here, it was saying most people in the Indian Ocean, like around that he's like a prophet. Obviously, I wouldn't like to use the term prophet. It's a bit, I'd say,
Yeah, but
overstated.
I get
But
where
in a
how that
sense
word
of
might be used in connotation.
like, and from from what you were telling me, from what we're talking about, he kind of just started to make his legacy.
He
Like,
broke that.
yeah,
Yeah, he
he
just
just
about broke it.
it's like they were quick with him. You know what I mean? They were like, oh, you're popular.
We
Oh,
got to
hold
shut this
on,
down.
you're getting to that.
Yeah,
You
yeah, yeah.
are.
Yeah, we got to shut this down. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
it's fun, not fun. Sorry, it's funny to see that like just like someone like Tupac or someone like like Michael Jackson, like we were talking before, where as soon as your message gets beyond a certain level,
Mm-hmm.
you have to go. And
Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
same happens, somewhere in a small island in Africa where it's
Yeah,
like,
oh,
oh,
same
they
thing.
become too, and they
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
do
yeah.
anything faster. It's like, oh, hold on, you
You
think you're
spread.
gonna rile the people against the mass?
Yeah,
You
yeah, yeah,
have
yeah,
to go,
yeah,
and
yeah,
we
yeah, yeah.
don't care.
It is funny you mentioned that though, innit? It's like the minute you start to convey a message of the truth, it's no longer popular. It should no longer be popular. It's like we're gonna nip this in the bud as quick as possible
Yeah,
because
instantly.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
They
because
need
you're
to
now
be found the
influential
first
in the wrong way. You're now influential in the wrong way. You
for
know,
them
how
anyway.
dare you
You know
talk?
what I
How
mean?
dare you talk about poverty? How dare you talk about money going under the table? You know, how dare you talk about this small little island who, by the way, Mark Twain, who was a very famous writer, I think everybody knows Mark Twain, called Mauritius the emerald jewel of the Indian Ocean. It was rich,
Yeah,
diverse, cultural. Mark Twain even wrote on one of his famous scriptures, he said, Mauritius was made first and then heaven was created because Mauritius is so beautiful, they had to copy it. You know, it was like obviously crazy hyperbole he's using, but it shows you like for such an impactful place, you couldn't have an impactful Mauritian artist. It was you had to nip it, you had to end it, and kind of scary that it's quite scary because even in a small island that was the case. Now forget countries that's got multi tens of
yeah.
millions. We're talking about a small island here, only slightly larger than the square kilometers of London city. It's yeah, it's quite mad because till this day he's an icon. Till this day, his
So
music is sold.
I found it a bit mental because I remember about 2 weeks ago when I came, I found out about
When
him,
you found out about this, yeah.
and I remember calling you and saying, Rob, I what? Do you know who my man is? Like, and you were like, oh
Mm.
yeah, bro, like it's this famous singer from back home and whatnot. And I was like, nah, but the story's mental. What? And there was a riot, and there was this, and there was that. I had a look at the story, and I started to get fascinated because I was like, raw, what? No one knows about this. And I said, nah,
Mm.
hold on. Surely there's docs. Surely there's this. And you go online, and it's like,
There really isn't.
there really isn't. There's a
No, no,
few
no, no. There
things,
really isn't.
like there's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
few
There's
French
a few
things.
things and little drips and that because
There's very small amount of
after you
things that
mentioned to me
are.
that we wanted to do this episode, even though some of the knowledge I already knew, I thought, oh, you know what? Let me actually go out my way and tell a lie. I may not know as much as I think I know about him. And yeah, didn't really find a lot about him at all, apart from
But
the
I'll be
usual
honest, I had to.
historical
There's more
facts. But
stuff written
you've got to go deeper.
than there is like I've had to look online on like just random sites and whatnot that mention man. But apart from that, like there was no small documentaries, there was no
Yeah.
videos or
Mm-mm.
there wasn't much about him, and it's like for being someone so influential to an island, because at the end of the day, no matter how small the island is or where it is, do you know what I mean? That's a very important thing because at the end of the day, Jamaica's is a smallish place as well. Do you know what I mean? It's not like it's mental big, and all this. And Bob coming out of Jamaica
Yeah.
managed to make a massive name out for himself, and I feel like he would have followed that same path have they not unalived him. Because for you to get killed in that
In that manner,
speed,
yeah,
in that
yeah,
speed, in that manner, in those circumstances as well,
yeah. In like three days of being
you
arrested.
they were absolutely shaking in their boots that any more from you and there could have been a problem. Like he seemed to be that influential where you're dangerous. To us, you're a danger.
Yeah,
We have
because
to
it
leave
says
you because you're too
official
dangerous.
records. Listen to how crazy this sounds. It says official records state that Kaya, suffering from drug withdrawal, threw himself against the walls of his own cell and broke his skull in the process. A coroner from the neighboring island of Réunion, which is still governed by France till this day, Dr. Ramstein, contradicted this statement with an examination which claimed Kaya had been beaten to death. Now, you tell me, a
Yeah,
man who smokes weed is
no,
withdrawing from loud. That is
no. Listen,
no,
listen.
come on, bro. He
I'll be
wasn't on
honest with you.
crack, bro.
Let's be quiet. Let's be quite honest now.
That's
Uh,
mental.
I I personally consume,
You had him. Yeah,
and
let's. You know what I mean?
never have I had one moment
Thrown
where
myself
like,
at the wall,
oh, I've been somewhere for a few hours and it's like,
bash my head on.
I'm gonna mash my head in and kill myself. It's like, come on, man. You lot had an agenda. You followed the agenda. You made sure the agenda agendaed. You know what I'm saying? And he, what happened happened. But in the end, it's like I feel like even to try and put that as an excuse, you're offending the people's intelligence. I feel that's another reason for the rioting, because like you're trying to offend our intelligence, and
Mm.
we will not stand for that.
No, you're
If
taking
you
us
know
for
what
mugs.
I'm
Yeah,
trying
you're
to
taking
say,
us for mugs.
because
Yeah, that's why
how
there was such
dare
a
you?
mega riot.
How dare you lie to us and say the man has killed himself over a few puffs of cannabis that he didn't
Yeah,
have?
that's mental.
That
Killed
is
himself, threw
outrageous,
himself at the wall. Imagine how badly you must have beaten him. You've been
bro.
like, oh my days, brother, we killed him. What are we gonna do? Ah, should we? Yeah, let's just say he threw himself against the wall because
That's
he's
what I'm saying.
chatted
You
out.
lot started beating him, and unfortunately, it went the wrong way. That's what
From the
happened. I
21st to
really,
the 25th of February 1999, riots lasted, noted as the 1999 Mauritian riots. Four civilians and police officer were killed in the riots, with hundreds of people suffering injuries. It was the first incident of mass rioting in Mauritius since the country's 1968 riots,
yeah, you
resulted in majority
know,
of
you trying to
police
say.
station being sacked by protesters, with over 300 prisoners escaping prison. Many
Yeah,
businesses
you
looted.
know.
I remember my dad telling me being shook that day because he had a shop and people were smashing everything. They didn't care who you were, bro. People smashing everything. Kind of like what happened in North London. Like you know that when that went down, bro. PC World, everything getting smashed. People don't care. He shut down his shop, and I think his shop got smashed up as well. Like he lost quite a lot of bread. Um, the whole island suffered from that riot. 4 days of a small little island rioting, bro. Bro, that's a lot of days.
That's a very long time.
That's a
Yeah, it's a
long
long
time.
time anywhere, but on an island like that,
On an
it
island that
must feel like
small, it
centuries.
must have felt like an eternity going on that long.
Nah, obviously, I'll be real. I kind of wish we could, touch on it a bit more and, give some extra bit of information. But honestly, that's
There ain't
about
that
all the
much.
info that there is
I'll
on
be
him,
honest.
on
If
his
if
life.
anybody
And
if anybody wants to find any more, let me know if you find more than what we've already spoken about,
if
because I would personally
even,
like to know more.
I'll be honest, anything. And I've searched it on AI, I've searched it on everything, yeah. And literally, that's all you can find. Early life, normal upbringing. He was held at the Alcatraz high security prison in Port Louis.
Mm.
Died under suspicion of circumstances on February 21st,
Suspicious
21st,
circumstances. I love that phrase.
1999. It sparked the 1999
Yeah.
Mauritian
I mean,
riot.
when we think about 1999,
It
so me
set,
and you were both like, what, 4 years old, yeah?
yeah. So we would be 4 years
Which,
old.
it sounds like a long time ago, but 99 is not that long ago.
I mean,
It's a long time, but
it's
it
26
doesn't,
years,
it
like
doesn't,
27 years ago. Do you know
if,
what I mean?
I mean, for example, it could have been, we could have easily said, oh, this has happened in the 70s or the 60s.
No,
It would have
no,
been like,
no. This is why I'm saying to you that
it's more kind of
it's more
fascinating that it's not
mind-boggling.
really
We
more out there.
had we had enough intelligence and things
Intelligence
and
and
all
information and
of that
books and things
information
being
and
written down.
books and
Yeah.
anyone CDs like you're saying
Mm,
cassette,
mm, mm, mm.
but he's not being talked about.
Yeah, yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I mean? I feel
yeah,
like
yeah,
it's something that they knew was gonna become so much bigger than what it did become,
yeah. I
and that
think in a
they just
way,
put a stop.
I don't know. I feel like Mauritians are quite protective of this knowledge as well. Um,
But I think with no disrespect, that's silly because he's an icon. He's a
mm,
martyr to you lot, and people should know of those who literally lost their life
mm. On the
speaking
same
up
breath,
for
yeah,
people's rights. You know what I'm trying to say?
in the same breath as similar musicians or uprisers around that time who we know of very
He
well, who have
didn't he
been well
didn't get
documented. Um, I think it's also around the time where Mauritius was on the come up. It wasn't there. It it
yeah.
wasn't on everyone's. Like now, you ask somebody, oh,
It's on
Mauritius,
the bucket list.
they sort of know. They're like, oh yeah, that one country that's quite nice, holiday place. They sort of know, but I think 90s. I don't think people were really aware of Mauritius. Like Mauritius was still developing. They were still trying to be a something. In
Yeah, it
in
wasn't
30
complete yet.
in like 30 years, in the span of my lifetime, Mauritius went from being a third world tiny little island to being like top 15 GDPs in Africa. That's really impressive. But you've got to think, one of the many ways they've done that is by shaking hands with the correct countries, right? You gotta shake the right hands and
Yeah, you gotta make sure that you're good.
that you're good. And unfortunately, Kaya's message was not about shaking the right hands. His message was about shake the people's hands. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Shake the people's hands. Because he had one of his phrases called les pipes sur racine fébrile. This is Creole. In French, it would basically mean the people's grass is burning. It's like you're you know the people's grass is burning because this is our livelihood. The grass is all we have, and
So
it
it's kind
the
of like
people's
don't shit on your doorstep.
don't shit on your doorstep. The people's grass is burning because why are you watering somewhere else? Don't water somewhere else. Water right here. Water where it's needed. Flood the money down to the people. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So yeah, shout out to Kaya, man. I think go out there, give him a little listen. He's not got many tracks, but I think if you look at some of the fan made releases that some of the locals from back home have released on YouTube and stuff, there's a couple 2 bits you can find still.
definitely advised to do that. Right. Well, as we said, we only have so much that we can say on him as information is pretty scarce and there's not much. So we are going to move on to a general thing of knowledge on Mauritius. Now, Mauritius is a multicultural island nation located in the Indian Ocean with about 2,000 kilometers off the southeast coast of African continent.
Mm,
Known as the Star and Key of the Indian Ocean, It is celebrated for its stunning turquoise lagoons, white sandy beaches, and a unique interior of jagged volcanic peaks and lush forests.
Honeymoon settings.
Now, as a geography and location wise, yeah, Mauritius is part of the Mascarene Islands, along with its neighbor
It's always
Reunion.
cold, yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
Mascarene Island,
Didn't even know that.
along with its neighbor Reunion, a French
Yeah,
department, and
yeah.
Rodriguez, a Mauritian democracy.
Mm-hmm.
It's of volcanic origin. The island was formed by volcanic activities 8 to 10 million years ago. While the volcanoes are now extinct, you can still visit the Truf Alps shelves. I
Yeah,
hope
yeah,
I
yeah.
got that
Been
right.
there. Yeah, yeah. You know, that's not
Uh,
bad pronunciation, actually. It's not bad. It's not bad.
Crater in the town of Kuripip.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
not bad. That's not bad.
I'm saying
That's
that.
not bad still.
It
You're
enjoys a
ready to
cool
visit.
climate. Come on, you don't know that.
You don't know. Yeah, it's definitely.
It enjoys a tropical climate. Summer lasts from November to April, hot and humid, while winter is May to October, and it's as cooler
Win,
and drier.
winter. Yeah, it is. It's cooler.
When we're talking about biodiversity, once the only home of the now extinct dodo bird,
Shout out the
Mauritius
dodo.
still hosts rare endemic species like the pink pigeon and the Mauritius.
Pink pigeon. I did not know
So
that. Tell me they're actually pink, please.
I haven't checked, but I
I'm
would
gonna check.
believe that they are.
Are they actually pink? Because I did not know there was
I
such
think
thing as a
so.
pink pigeon.
I think so. I wouldn't doubt that they are, to be fair, or some sort of shade.
Oh, tell a lie.
Yeah,
Tell a lie.
they're pink in it.
They're pretty pink.
Shit, there you go.
Say no more. Say no more. Accurate name. I was about to shit on it a second, but all right. Say no end.
uh, it's history and settlement wise, the island was uninhabited until the Dutch arrived in 1598. It was
Mm,
later a French colony, 1715 until 1810, and then a
yeah.
British colony until it gained independence in 1968.
Yeah.
The population is a vibrant mix of Indo-Mauritian descendants of indigenous laborers
Hmm.
and Creoles, descendants of enslaved
The African
Africans from
slavery. Yeah.
Haiti,
Yeah. Yeah.
Franco-Mauritians and Sino-Mauritians of Chinese descent.
Chino. They're everywhere.
So,
They're everywhere.
so it's literally just about one of the most mixed cultured
Mixed cultures.
islands you
Yeah.
can find.
Yeah. In
Uh,
terms of how they were all introduced very very early on. All these cultures were just like you go here, you go here, you go here. All right, you all fucking get along now, mate.
so religion wise, I checked and this actually shocked me to be quite fair. It's one of the only countries in Africa where Hinduism is the primary religion, approximately
Yeah, that's the
48%,
main. Yeah. How much
48%,
percentage? 40. Oh yeah, so
forty-eight percent,
it's a large majority. Yeah.
followed by then Christianity and obviously Islam.
Islam's third.
Uh,
Yeah.
English is the official language used in the government and education, but French is widely used in the media and daily life. Mauritian
Hmm.
Creole is the native heart language spoken by almost everyone.
Yeah. Yeah. Shouts out to my
Um,
Creole people out there, man. We're international. Yeah. Hey, the
there
Creoles,
you go.
there's so many different kind of Creoles, bro. Only as I got older, I realized there's Haitian Creole.
Yeah,
There's
hella,
so many different. There's Caribbean
hella.
Creole. There's Portuguese Creole. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
so many, and they all
There's
sound very
Peruvian
sim.
Creole as well.
There you go. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
what a
hella.
fascinating culture.
I also have a few things here that I would like you to double confirm.
Mm,
So the key attractions in
mm,
Mauritius,
mm.
Le Morne, Brabant, a majestic
Lemon. Yeah,
basaltic mountain and UNESCO
yeah,
World Heritage Site that
yeah.
served as refuge for runaway slaves, which
For the
were
runaway slaves,
in
right?
Maroons.
Yeah. Mm, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Le marron.
So
Yeah.
then I have seven colored Earths,
Chamarel.
a geological curiosity where sand dunes settle into seven distinct colors: red, brown, violet, green, blue, purple, and yellow.
Yeah, bro, when you see this
Okay.
act, mental.
Yeah.
Mental. It looks photoshopped. It's on the right day when you catch it in the sun. Mental. Like that. Yeah, it's great. I mean, you can carry little, obviously they've made it all touristy and you can get a little jar of it, but it's beautiful to see. It's very, very unique. Yeah. Ramkulam. Yeah, that's the geezer. That's the geezer.
Botanical
He's like the
Gardens.
first, yeah, he's like one of the first
So this
presidents.
is
Yeah.
one of the eldest in the southern hemisphere, famous for its giant water lilies.
Pamplemousse. Yeah. So this botanical garden is in area called Pamplemousse. Pamplemousse direct means grapefruit in English. It's a natural botanical garden. Beautiful, actually. It's all you've got green forest all around you. There's this
Yeah,
long sort of.
it's the
Have you
oldest
seen a
in the
picture of it?
southern hemisphere.
Yeah, and there's giant water lilies on it. It's really beautiful.
Okay, then I saw this about the Grand Basin or Ganga Talao, a
Hmm.
sacred crater lake that is most important Hindu pilgrimage site outside of India.
Yeah, big boy thing. So we drove past that to go to one of this hike my cousin took me to. The place is called Grand Bassin. Grand Bassin basically means uh big sink, literally.
Oh,
Grand
swear?
Bassin. Grand Bassin basically means big sink. It's like a big giant body of water. I
So
believe it's a natural lake.
I find that quite curious that as well. The fact that so it says here that that's the second biggest Hindu pilgrimage after anything in India, and
That's a big deal. Deep that for a second, act.
I think
That's
that's
massive.
crazy.
That's
That's
massive.
mental. But
And
also
they've got
considering half of the population are basically Hindu, which
Hindus.
that again, I'll be honest,
Did
it
you not
makes me
know that?
kind of
No.
like, nah, nah. I
Yeah, 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 yeah.
genuinely thought you lot were like more on the like Islamic or Christianity side
No, we're
because
actually a
the
minority.
fact, like I don't know, I've never really associate obviously look knowing you and obviously knowing your family and whatnot.
Mm.
I've never really associated Mauritius with anything to do with India.
Yeah, 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 yeah. But it's heavily influenced by it.
Like when I don't know, it, yes and no.
Mm.
Like we've spoke about this before, and it's like I've never, come to your house and sensed that like there's a heavy Indian
The,
culture or
you've never. I
guys.
mean, from me, you've never had the sense that I'm more that kind of Asian.
No, I've never really seen you guys as Asians.
Yeah, 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 yeah. No, I get what you're saying.
I
That's
honestly
because
like
yeah,
look.
we're
If
more
are
we're
we
more
talking
Creole
about?
though,
Because
right?
look, look? Are we talking about looks or culture?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
okay, if you said to me only
Do I
on
look
look,
Asian?
only
I look
on
Asian.
looks, only
Yeah,
on
I
look,
look Asian. Yeah.
where do you think I'm from? And I'm gonna obviously I'm gonna
You're
think,
gonna go through
oh,
the main countries first.
well, you're a brown skinned man.
The big three,
I'm gonna go by the
geographically,
maybe
where I
you're
think
Indian,
you man
or
are
maybe
from.
you could be Pakistani, you could be from Bangladesh,
Back the big
you
three,
know,
yeah, that's it, yeah.
whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
But I wouldn't associate being so close to Madagascar and all the other places.
Mainland
You're actually
Africa.
closer to Africa than you are to
Much
India.
closer. Yeah, yeah, we're
So
we're
in
we're
my
stones
head,
throw away.
geographically. already that don't make sense.
Mm.
Now, if you just said only on looks, where do the people look like they're from? Cool, you could maybe say India, but at the same time, yeah, like for example, I think in a later age, maybe yes. But I've seen pictures at your house, for example, of like your dad as a young man on a bike and like your mum's
Mm.
when
Mm.
she was younger and stuff
Mm.
and all that.
Mm.
It's like they don't look Asian. They
It
don't look
wasn't all.
Asian.
It
It doesn't.
wasn't. It wasn't the traditional kind of
No,
look
it
you have
didn't.
with a
No, you
veil. Yeah,
didn't look
yeah, yeah,
Asian. You look
yeah,
Creole. You look islandish. If anything, you
yeah,
look more
yeah,
like.
yeah.
No, you did. You had the same.
Look, we looked more
Bro, I'll be
Trini.
honest,
We
bro,
look more
yeah,
Trini.
on my mother's, you
Yeah,
had the
more
same
Trinidad, more
style,
Trinidad,
you had the
more
same
Guyanese
style as
looking.
like Jamaicans, like
Yeah,
Caribbean
yeah,
people,
Caribbean,
if you
more
don't
Caribbean.
understand what
Yeah,
I'm saying.
I think that's what makes the island so unique in a way because a majority of Hindus, but we look Asian. We're mixed with Creole, but we speak French. What?
But you
Like,
teach English and
but
this
we
and that.
teach English.
It makes it's too big
It's
of a mix.
it's very mixed. It's
And
very,
then
very
you do
mixed.
your Indo also thing. You've got part Chinese, like
Yeah, Indo
Indo
culture.
this,
Yeah, yeah,
Indo
yeah.
that.
You'll see like
Then even when it says that
the
you
direct
weren't having it.
descendants.
So you
The
weren't
direct
having it
descent.
until the Dutch
We
came.
were late to the party. We were late to the party.
No, but in a general sense of even going back to the Kaya thing, where like, am I correct in saying, or do I sound crazy? The whole island was populated by
Others.
migrations of
Yeah. Migration.
slaves,
It was
others
migration,
in general.
slavery, and laboring. This was the only way people ever got to that island. So everyone that got brought to the island, the first generation of people who created the rest of the population, like me, were we're not technically natives. Mauritians don't have natives, right?
Yeah,
We were
I mean we don't yet.
Africans were brought. Africans were brought. A, Indians were brought.
So
Creoles were brought.
wait.
Chinese were coming. Everybody came and had
Hold
a
on.
purpose, if that makes sense. Like everybody came
Hold on a
for
second. Now
to do a job.
this is where I want to get a little
Hey,
bit.
hey, yo, colonizations.
Hold on. I want to get a bit of in conspiracy mode now, yeah? You're telling me there weren't one motherfucker in Mauritius before they brought anyone? No one. Knowing how much
Who? Listen,
violent the
Ak.
Dutch are.
Who? Okay, let's say they were Mauritians on the island. Yeah.
You're telling me there
Let's
was
say, let's
no
say couple.
indigenous people.
Let's say couple people from mainland Africa one day sailed across and found Mauritius, set up land. Were they the ones who are gonna write the history books, Ak, or were the Dutch gonna write it?
No. I don't think that. I'm just saying.
We don't know
I
that.
that kind of blew my head because
It's
I
kind of
knew.
crazy.
Because look, even see, this is all backwards, yeah. So even on your passport, for example, your Mauritian passport, you have the dodo,
Mm.
and
There's a dodo. There's
yeah.
another
So
animal. There's like a
the question:
deer.
how?
You're doing a mad thing,
No,
God.
hold on. It's a magic for real though. Think about it. How can the dodo be your national bird? I mean, clearly it is because it was there before you lot.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It became an
So,
identity of that place, right?
but if the Dutch murdered all of the dodos, because the dodos when obviously all the dogs came and they were yamming them and doing whatever and this and that. So they knew about that before you lot even got onto the island. So now it's making me think Right, you lot kind of have that as like a this is our thing, but
Yeah, you can dictate
but
it how you want, right?
you weren't even there to see them because they were already goners by the time, or they weren't fully gone when they were like bringing in, different populations of people and whatnot.
Yeah,
But it
because
makes me feel a bit like,
it says on the historical bit, Arabs and Malay sailors likely knew Mauritius as early as the 10th century, referring to it as Dina Arobi on the navigational charts. So Mauritius was a navigational point. It was marked. Bear in mind, people sailed the world
so
way
this is
before
what I'm
freaking
saying.
Columbus. Columbus is
Let's say,
right.
let me say
So
proper.
it's it's
So
it's
I'm
known of,
saying
right? It says as early as
people
the
must
10th
have already
century.
been stopping off.
I believe so. I do believe so, Ak. Now, the Dutch is only introduced to the island from 1598, so 16th century to 17th century. And it says here in 1598, Dutch sailor under Admiral Wynbrand van Vaudijk claimed Mauritius for the Netherlands, named after the Prince Maurice of Nassau.
Are we gonna believe European history though?
Are we really gonna
No,
see? That's kind
not
of
in
bugged me.
ignorant,
No,
not in an
that's
ignorant
kind of
way.
bugged me that
Not in
the
an
whole
ignorant
island is
way,
named
but
after
like,
some random Donny who probably never been there.
doesn't even know where it is on the map.
You
So
show
this
him a
is
map,
like,
you show him a map, and he can't point it out.
nah. I'll be honest with you. I'm I'm upset about that. Cause I feel like you lot have so many cultures, so many things. Like it's such a beautiful place, and like you deserve your own. How can I say this? Like even though you're not native, you are native. Like those who
I
came
would,
before you weren't native, but you are native. Your dad's
yeah,
native. You know what
yeah.
I'm trying
That's
to
all
say?
he knows. That's all he knows. Our origin is very mishmash.
Yeah,
Our origins very mishmash because um Afro-Mauritians, Creoles, we're all descendants of enslaved Africans. We all came we all came from our ancestors' purpose of coming into Ireland and cultivating,
yeah,
right?
exactly,
So that so in a way, yeah, we are natives
you have to
because
be.
that's all we know. Like that is our culture. That is where we're from. It's embedded in our history, whether we like it or not. My ancestors' bloodline dates in two different directions, right? It goes up to Asia, and it goes east to Africa as well. And maybe along the lines it veers in different directions as well. But it's a beauty and also quite a tragedy of how the beginning and the influence of Mauritian came about because it is quite a deep rooted culture. It is rooted in slavery. It is rooted in colonization. Um, but as as most of the world was around that time period,
Yeah,
it was a time of take what you want, bring it where you, bring it where you want it to be. So I mean, till this day, there are, as you mentioned, there are Franco-Mauritians. So these are native Mauritians that are French looking. You go to the corner shops, most of the Chinese people. See, this is the beauty of what Mauritius has actually become. See, the purpose they were all brought there in the first place. So the original slaves from Africa came from slavery. The Indians were brought for agriculture and stuff, still slaves. And over time, we have all taken up sort of our niche, if that makes sense,
yeah,
right? It's like we've all sort of congealed into society. See, like, for example, when it's time for prayers, right? the azan, like the call of prayer in for the mosque, is called out loud.
Okay.
It's it's called out loud, kind of like you would see in an Islamic country. Bear in mind, we said earlier, majority population is Hindu,
48%.
48%. So the azan is called out loud for all Christians, Hindus, everyone to hear, right? There's mosques everywhere. There are churches everywhere, old churches, churches that are older than the archbishop churches here. We have Hindu temples that are massive, beautiful, colorful, just like you would see in India, Delhi, that kind of stuff, you know? So I think a lot of people that come to Mauritius for the first time might have a bit of a, I wouldn't even say culture shock, because there's so much culture, it's impossible for you to have one shock. You've got multiple shocks, because you can go to the restaurant, you can
You
go
might
to one
even
restaurant,
you might even
you can go
find
to one,
something you correlate with. You get me?
you
You might be
correlate
able to
with, yeah.
respect.
I think it's impossible for you to go there and find any sort of discrimination or racism in a country like that. If you go there and you're able to find discrimination or racism, it's
You
probably because you are
totally
the
brought
racist.
it.
Yeah, you brought it with you, because you can go to a restaurant and order a fried rice, right? A curry, yam, and plantain and beans.
Uh,
There's nowhere like
hella
this,
stuff.
bro. Fried fish, lobster. You can walk 10 minutes and go to the beach, or you can go an hour that way and find a mountain. You can find a local black auntie that speaks Creole, French, Hindu, Tamil,
Yeah.
right? It's like everybody understands everyone, which is the beauty of that country, because you can walk down the road and a Christian would not look at you differently, and a Mauritian Muslim will not look at you differently, you know?
Yeah,
And
you're more
yeah, there's
united than
problems.
you
Yeah,
are.
yeah, yeah. And yeah, there's problems. Just like every country. Yeah, there's problems. Yeah, there's differences, because people like to look at differences more than similarities. But I'd like to say the majority, we love each other. Like, we love each other. Like, Mauritians genuinely have love for each other, because there isn't a lot of us out there.
No, of course.
There isn't a lot of us out there. So, like, a lot of the time when you would see a Mauritian here, the missus knows I have this thing where it's nothing to do against my people, but I tend to like avoid Mauritians when I find them abroad. Not in, like, when I go to Mauritius, bro, I love Mauritians. But there's something about when I meet Mauritians abroad, unless they're family and stuff like that, right? I'm not gonna say it, but because our country is so small, we love to know everything about everyone.
Yeah, I
You
feel
know,
you. And
it's
I
the
don't even come
usual.
from such a small place, and I can be like,
Yeah,
it's
it's like, I
same
don't
as
know,
French and
maybe you
Italian. It's
might
like,
have a similar
hey,
thing
we're
with
instantly
Sardinia or
cousins.
whatever.
We're
Yeah, it's
instantly
like,
cousins because like there's not many of us, so
and
shit
they will
gets
instantly
together.
ask
It's like,
you for your surname, because
of course, to
that's
know
all.
whose sons you are. Like,
That's all they need. Yeah, that's all they need to go by. And then it's like, oh, you're Thingy and Thingy son, and it's like, I love
so
my
true.
people. I love my people, but I like to avoid them here just because they like to chat a bit too much.
Yeah, they are chat. Island man are
The
chatty still.
island man love to chat and start. When did you come here? How much money did you make? It's
Yeah, too many,
these
too
man.
many.
They've got no filter. They've got no filter. But yeah, respect up.
Right, fucking. I'll be real. That was really something. I'll be real. Like, hella stuff I didn't know. Like, I'll be real with you. I was just flabbergasted by a lot of the information that we
Mm.
said and that I've
I
seen
think we've.
you
I
have.
mean, we already know that.
This is
You know, we're gonna. I'm gonna take you. We're gonna go. This is
100%.
we already know this is an inevitable trip.
We're
Not
just
now, not
waiting
later, not
the
soon.
right
But
time
it will
still.
happen. It will happen. And who knows? Maybe we're still keeping this podcasting going. I hope we do. We are, and we'll drop an episode live and
Live
direct on
from
the island.
Mauritius. Live from
And direct
Mauritius.
on the island. You already know.
Live from Mauritius. You know this. But yeah, apart from that, what else do we have? Don't forget, Monday. Obviously, this is gonna be dropping Sunday. Monday,
We've
F1
got
recap. every
Back.
Monday.
We're back.
Don't forget, we're back. We
Sharp.
try to
Every
stop
time
the
there's a
spread
race,
of terrorism.
every time there's a race, I
We're
could
back.
be I could be in hospital or in the middle of an I don't care where I am. Monday, if there's a race on the Sunday, on Monday
We've got
there
a
is a pod
recap.
dropping.
You know this.
I
So
guarantee you.
make sure you check this one out. Check that one out. Subscribe because we're tired of
Subscribe, man.
telling you.
Subscribe,
Make
man.
sure.
I know a lot of you tell me, hey, I love the content, I love all this.
Do
Love, I
you really?
appreciate that.
Do
But
you really?
did you
Subscribe.
subscribe though?
Subscribe.
Come
Because
on.
let
I've
me
got
tell
more
you
stuff
one thing.
coming. I've got more stuff coming on a TikTok as well. I'm going to be posting a lot more a few bits that I
We're
posted
live.
on there. Um, we will definitely do a little integration with TikTok. This is something we're going to talk about later on at a later stage, but we're going to drop a little something for the people who have been wanting to be a bit more interactive with us. Maybe we
Exactly.
might drop a little,
100%.
maybe a little once a month thing where
You
we're a
know what
bit
I'm
more
saying?
interactive with people.
April is upon us.
Yeah,
April's
look
a
for
big
April.
month. We're about to do the mad thing. Make sure you're locked in. April, we have some serious,
April's around the corner, man. I can't believe it. We're the
serious episodes coming out
end
in
of March,
April.
April coming up. Yeah, in the next couple of weeks, to be fair. Look out for
We
that. It's
have
we're gonna
we
be
have
posting that.
a very well, I would say two very very special episodes coming out in April, which
Yeah, that's gonna be a good one.
to be fair, I ain't even
I'll
gonna
see.
give you lot
Yeah,
nothing,
yeah. I
nothing.
don't,
Wait and
it's
see,
just wait on it.
wait and see. But trust me,
Wait on it. Click on
yeah,
the link, and there's that little bit at the bottom. It says subscribe. Yeah, click that as well,
click that one.
man. It done though.
Apart from that,
Go on, my act. Love.
love.